Hey guys, so I'm back. Gonna do a nice little drive. I'm here out in Hicksville. I'm going from Hicksville to Farmingdale. It's a little nice 23-minute drive. I do these videos to give you guys a little bit of an insight of how Hardware 3 performs. And I like to do like these drives because these are not like pre-thought out drives or whatever may be the case. These are just random. I go to different customers every day, and this is basically a customer to customer. So I've probably never taken this route. I'm gonna let the car take care of it and just deal with FSD. I am on the most latest software for FSD, Hardware 3, which I did get an update the other day. It is 2026.8.6. Of course, I'm on Hardware 3, not a Hardware 4 car. Normally I would, you know what, I'm gonna let it start because this stop sign has like some nasty work in front of it. So let me see if me just raising the suspension will cure that. Let me raise the suspension. It's like got a nasty little dip right there. Oh, it actually kind of like navigated it. That's actually pretty good. You don't normally see that. Wait a second. Okay. GPS was definitely telling it to, I don't know, that's weird because when it first started it said to make a right, but then when we went straight it was going straight, but it already made the right. So now I guess it's fixing the route now. But yeah, so this is another nasty little dip. I didn't mean to disengage. I didn't mean to disengage or turn the radio on. I tried to raise the suspension. I guess me pushing it hard kicked it out of what you call it. I'm just gonna nudge it because this guy is on my behind. But yeah, I didn't mean to disengage just now. I was trying to raise the suspension because these little intersections seem to have like a nasty dip in. If there's no real markings on it, the car is not really going to recognize it. It's just going to proceed at a normal or regular speed, and that will definitely scrape up your front lip. Like I was saying, I like to do these videos because I see this question all the time. I was even having this debate yesterday on Facebook, where somebody was asking about Hardware 3. It's like they want to know if they should buy 2022 Hardware 3 car, or they should wait for or try to get our 23 Hardware 4 car. And their concerns was because recently, I don't know if you guys know, but the used car market and the prices for just Teslas, the Model S and X have gone up, even the used market. So on Tesla's website, cars that were like 60,000 at the time for like a 23 with Hardware 4 was like 60 something thousand. But now if you go back on there, they're all raised and they're all over 70,000. So it's like close to like a $10,000 price hike. So that definitely for some people took that car out of their price range or where they wanted to get it for. So some people are now contemplating getting a 22 with FSD, because they are supposedly saying that FSD for Hardware 3 will get FSD Lite. So people are like, well, maybe I should just do that instead of spending the extra 10 grand or whatever may be the case. Where some people are like, you know what, if it's going to get FSD Lite, so it all depends to me on what you do with your car. There's some people that have plaids that don't ever use FSD. If you don't use FSD at all, then to be honest, I would just get the 22 and call it a day. The 22 and 23s, the 24s, even all the way up to the 26, the difference is not that, like, it's not, should you say, $10,000 to $20,000 worth of an upgrade to me. It is an upgrade, but it's not that much. It's not worth it that much to me. So if you don't use FSD, I would definitely get the 22 over the 23, or I should say the 24. You save yourself some money. It's theoretically the same car. That money that you save, you could actually put it into some of the upgrades for like the 26 model. You can then now get you some LED lighting inside. I haven't done LED lighting, the interior lighting, because I am still on the fence of what I'm going to do, if I'm going to keep this car or if I am going to go get a 23. I was looking at them. I try to wait for good deals. I think I got a pretty good deal on this car. So I bought this car last year in July. I think by the time I picked up the car, it was like August 1st or whatever. I think it was July 31st or whatever. Maybe there's something like that. If it wasn't July 31st, it had to be like August 1st. But I got this car from Carvana for $55. It had 7,000 miles on it with FSD paid for. And it had a front nose PPF as well. So, and it did have like two locations that had 2 minor scratches or whatever may be the case. But I worked my magic on those scratches, and you cannot see anything like that on the car. And if you really wanted to, you could take it and get it professionally done, and that's still a lot less than, you know, what they were charging. They basically discounted the car because it had those scratches on it. Because when I bought this car, it should have been around 60 to 65 grand. So being that it had FSD, it had, you know, a little bit of extras of front nose, and the main thing is that it's a 22, still under warranty, and it had only 7,000 miles. So that car should have been well over the 60s. So I feel like I got a pretty good deal on it. So I tried to wait for another good deal, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe I just might have to wait a little longer, because maybe with the surge in pricing right now, maybe it'll go back down back to where the numbers were, or maybe they won't, and maybe I just have to either stay with the 22 or go into and spend a little bit of extra money for a 23. It would be great. I mean, if Tesla came out and solidified that they were actually going to upgrade the cars that have FSD on hardware 3 that's paid like they said, if I would then keep the car, because I really, you know, the main reason for me to be upgrading is I would like FSD version 14 and so forth, and I would like hardware 4, because although I love my hardware 3, I do want to be able to just basically honestly set it and forget it, where it's going to leave from the parking spot and park in the parking spot. One of the things I did notice in some of the recent videos I've seen of people with version 14.3 is that the cell phone nagging is definitely minimized or minimal. I mean, there's dudes was doing the video on 14.3, which literally came out like the beginning of this week, and they were actually able to read the release notes off of their cell phone and get no nags. I can't do that. That's one thing. Hardware 3, it is going to nag you if you're on your cell phone. It's going to nag you if it sees your eyes wandering. So that's one thing that I would definitely benefit from, because the main reason of me wanting FSD is because when I'm working and I'm going from customer to customer, sometimes I have to answer the phone. Sometimes I have to, you know, text customers. Customers are texting me. Sometimes I have to place orders. So for me to be able to just hop in the car, let the car drive, and not see, I don't know why it got into this middle lane. Anyway, I guess maybe because that guy was on the bumper, so the car probably figured, let me not left lane camp, and that's probably why I moved over. But dang, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, that's why it's beneficial for me, because getting in the car and just being able to just put my customer's address, which normally, to be honest, when I have a full day, I start my day off by basically tapping all of the locations, and it's already there. So it's already planned out for me because everything is on my calendar and it's already planned out. So all I just do is get in, just tap, 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 tap. Once again, I don't know why this with the lane changing. Usually, I guess FSD sometimes does that, and it just drives me nuts. Where the lane changing is just completely sometimes unnecessary, and it goes against what they say, because sometimes it changes lanes into lanes that are slower, which makes literally no sense. Because if it was finding the lane that's moving with the flow of traffic or moving faster, then sometimes it would stay where it's at. Like, it was in the left lane like this, and there was a good space in front, and it had more room, and then it got in the middle lane, and the middle lane was already just moving slower. But back to what I was saying, I just plot my points, and I usually get in, I set the next to start to go, and when I get to my customer, I go in, do the diagnostic, come back out, and it's already saying continue trip, and I just hit continue trip, and it takes me about on my day. I literally do that all the time. So for me to be able to just do that and not have to worry now and not constantly get nags, because, for example, I'll reenact it like if I'm on my phone, and we'll see how quick does it nag me. So I'm basically looking down at my phone, and so see, automatically, that was probably like maybe 10 to 15 seconds. It gave me a pay attention. So let's bump this up to 85. So yeah, like I said, for me, it would be great, because now if I could get in my car and, have my phone place orders, send customers text, say, hey, I'm on my way, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. That's great. That's one of my reasons for me wanting hardware 4, because I also know that eventually they'll get to unsupervised. So that's my main reason. Other than that, to be honest, the way the car drives, if I could do at least even start and finish officially, like where the car will find a parking spot and stuff like that, and I can get those features, I probably wouldn't mind keeping my 22 and just keeping hardware 3, because I see videos all the time. I'm a YouTube junkie when it comes to like FSD and Teslas and EVs and things like that. And I see the videos, and even people with hardware 4 have some of the problems that we have in hardware 3. It happens. The system is not perfect yet. It's nowhere near close to perfect. But it's still 100% usable. Right now, in the terms of supervised, you just got to pay attention. It is what it is. It's not at that point where you can just get in and go to sleep yet. So right now, as it stands, I'm fine with it. Not saying that I don't fall asleep sometimes, but yeah. So that's my main reasoning behind it, and I use FSD as much as I can. It's the only reason in like the winter times I wasn't using it, because the roads are so nasty with these 1,000,001 potholes, and I just don't feel like being on the side of the road every single day. Even though I do have the wheel and tire package, they would probably kick me off, because in New York City these potholes are ferocious. They do not care. But yeah, now since the snow is gone, and they're repairing a lot of the potholes, it makes it a lot easier to use FSD. I do sometimes occasionally take over when I see if the car is going to hit a pothole that's a little bit too much. I will take over, because like I said, I don't got time to be on the side of the road if I don't have to be. But yeah, so that's the car. To me, the car drives fine. I mean, yeah, it has issues. I think some of the biggest issues with hardware 3, and I don't know, maybe someone that drives hardware 4 can chime in on this in the comments, but I feel like the pedestrians is the biggest fault for like hardware 3. Knowing what pedestrians are going to do, and it's very, very hard to it doesn't know. And I get it, but in some cases, it's like earlier today I was using it, and I was leaving from my house, and like the first left-hand turn it needed to make, there was a customer. I mean, a customer. It was a pedestrian standing at the like in the. I wouldn't say on the sidewalk. He was out on like the white lines, and he started to walk, but he stopped, and then he kind of like waved me through. K-band. The car did not know what to do because it didn't read his hand signs, and I don't think hardware 3 can do that, but it just did not know what to do, if that guy was going to walk out on the street or if he was not. So it kind of like was hesitating, didn't know what to do. I ended up just taking over control. So I feel like with pedestrians, and I get it though. Some people would be like, oh, you see, I just understand that the car does not know what people are going to do. The guy walked out into the street and then he stopped. So for the car, thinking it's like, is he going to continue to walk out? Is he going to jump out in front? It does not necessarily know. So I understand that. I think that's one of the biggest problems in hardware 3 is it's sometimes indecisiveness with the pedestrians, which, like I said, to me, it's understandable. Some people think that's such a bad thing. I mean, to be honest, and I've said this in my other videos, I'd rather the car side on the safety versus just being gung-ho and just not caring, or because you truly never know what a person is going to do. So, but yeah, this just gives you, we only got 8 minutes left in this drive, and there was no interventions other than me trying to raise the suspension and applying too much force because the car was trying to turn at the same time, and I was pressing the left roll well in too hard, and it basically messed up. So it kicked me out of FSD. But other than that, I haven't intervened at all. That's weird seeing people walk on the streets in Long Island. You don't normally see people walking on the side of the roads and
Front
stuff.
K-band.
And I'm gonna see if the car could park itself, because sometimes the car will park itself. It'll only do like curb, like if you pull up to I pull up to a customer's house or a person's house, and there's enough parking, and their like the address is not one of those hard to find addresses. Sometimes like in the GPS, like I had a customer yesterday, and I've been there to his house. That's the second time that we're like on the GPS, the dot where the person's building was at was so completely off. Like his building is in the middle of the block, but the GPS dot says that it's like literally towards the end of the block, which the first time I went there, I was like, I don't see your building. Am I at the right spot? And he was like, oh, it's in the middle. But when I looked at the GPS, it literally had it at the end of the block. So if the GPS of where that house is correct, then usually you can get a spot. But like I said, it's not gonna pull up and do parallel parking, or it's not gonna pull into a parking spot, but it will pull curbside if there's parking in front of that person's house. Once again, and the GPS pin is actually correct, it will park. I've seen it do it multiple times. Oh, knocked my phone off, and I didn't mean to do that. Why is my phone? I didn't mean to do that either. Close Gemini, yes. Turn the gear on. This is hot. Yes, baby, buddy. seems like I didn't charge my phone over. Oh no, that's the camera that's at 16%. I did leave it in the car up and on, so, but I have 4 batteries now, so altogether I have 5, so 1 in the camera and then 3 extra.
Front K-band.
I got 1 in the camera, the spare that came with the camera, and 3 that I just recently bought. I'm actually going to try one of those batteries out because those batteries are supposed to have a little bit more milliamps than this one. So we'll see how those actually perform. I feel like the original batteries that came with this camera as well might not be performing as well due to the fact that I haven't done a video and the camera was just sitting for so long and not being cycled at all for like almost a year and a half. So I'm wondering if maybe I'm back after a little bit of technical difficulties. As I was talking, the battery just died on it. Like, that's crazy. It was at 16% and it went from 16% to 0. That's crazy. But yeah, well, I had to swap the battery on the go, which I was able to do.
Side K-band.
And we're back. Sorry about that. Popped off my battery door again. So it went off when it was about maybe like 4 to 5 minutes left in the drive. We're back now and it's like 3 minutes. So you guys didn't miss anything. I hate that though. I hate having to put 2 videos together if I don't need to. One thing I'll ask you guys in the comments is that I've seen other people who have YouTube videos where when they're doing like FSD point of view videos where they have like a similar setup to what I have, but then when they put the video on YouTube, they were able to like pull the screen navigation and put it closer and then put the other video. Like if you guys know how to do that or what software that's being used to do that, please let me know. I've seen people be able to put that, that screen, make it much bigger so that you guys can see everything there as well too.
Front K-band.
This is a turn on right, so I did nudge it just now. This is a turn on right. Let's see if it can recognize and then go ahead. It's gonna do its full stop. It's gonna come out. There's a car there. There's a big old truck. Is it gonna take it, or is it just gonna wait for the truck? Which is the correct thing to do, is to wait for the truck. And I assume that it'll go now, which yes, it is gonna go now. It got a little scared because it didn't know what that car was, if it was in my lane or not, but I don't mind that little jab. We need to get over because we're going to be making a left soon. Let's see how it handles this blinking yellow. Yesterday or the day before, it didn't handle it pretty well. It kind of like jabbed. Actually, the other day it was slowing down. So today, perfectly fine. Like that's one thing that I don't understand is that there's times it'll do stuff that's like questionable, and it's like, why did it do it? It's handled the situation before perfectly fine, and then it's like it loses its mind or it forgets how it did something. Because the other day it definitely was coming to a stop at a blinking yellow, which is completely unnecessary. And just now it went through the blinking yellow perfectly fine. And then when it was doing it, I thought it was going to slow down, but it was actually going to come to a stop. So let's see. The customer's house is 7. So it's going to, and that's it. No parking here. I'm going to park. And that concludes my little video, you guys. I will try to make another one. Might do a little video sitting down when I'm at, I think I'm going to go to a supercharger today. But I might do a video then. Just talk about some things with Hardware 3. Other than that, take care, guys. I'll see you another time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.